Okay, yesterday I told you about the average speed, right? Average speed is the total distance covered upon total time taken. Okay, we have already finished this topic. Now we will talk about the non-uniform and uniform motion. Now, in everyday life, we seldom find object moving with a constant speed over a long distance or for long duration of the time. As I told you earlier also, when a body moving in a straight line covers equal distances in the equal interval of time, then it is said to be uniform motion. But it is very difficult, है ना? In practically it is not possible कि कोई भी चीज़ जो है वो एक ही स्पीड से चली चली जा रही है ना? What happens in most of the cases, the or we can say when the distance traveled by a body at a fixed interval of time is not the same, then it is said to be the non-uniform motion. For example, in last class we discussed one numerical. In that numerical, it was ki in suppose it is 10 6-hour journey. In first hour, your speed may be 50 kilometer per hour. In second hour, it may be 40 kilometer per hour. In third hour, it may be 60 kilometer per hour. Every hour, if your speed is changing, then the motion is called non-uniform motion. If you are going with a continuous speed, suppose for the whole journey you are moving your vehicle with the 50 किलोमीटर पर आवर for the whole journey for the 6 hour, है ना? 6 hour की जर्नी है और पूरी जर्नी में आपने ये स्पीड मेंटेन करी है, then it is called the uniform motion. And if the speed is changing, then it is called the non-uniform motion. Okay, in case of the non-uniform motion, obviously you have to take the average speed, है ना? You have to find out the average speed of the whole journey. Okay, now see the next topic, measurement of the distances. Today we will discuss about the measurement of the distance, measurement of the time. Sorry, it's the measurement of the time. Okay, if you did not have a clock, how would you decide what time of the day it is? So obviously it will become very difficult to measure the time without a clock, है ना? Time is a phenomenon by which human beings observe and record changes in the environment and the universe. The knowledge of the time and its measurement is very important. The standard unit, SI unit, you know, in sixth class also you read about it. SI units, these are the standard unit. The SI unit of the time is second. What is it? It's the second, right? The SI unit of the time is second. However, some other units are also used as the, it may be the minute, hour, days, years, decade, century, etc. Right? Okay. Now, in ancient time, there were no clock to measure the time. However, the need to track the time was felt even then. Early man had his own ways to measure the time that was based on the periodic movement of the heavenly bodies. You know, days occur after every night, and which are measured based on the rotation of the earth. You know, rotation of the earth on its axis. A month used to measure the based on the movement of the moon around the earth, है ना? In the time interval between the two full moons, and the measurement of the air was based on the revolution of the earth around the sun, right? That type of the measurements were used by the ancient people. And now in modern days we use clocks. These clocks are very useful to give us time. The working of the clock is rather complex, but all of them make use of the some periodic motion. One of the most well-known periodic motion is that of the simple pendulum. Okay, now see different type of the clock. This is the first one is a wall clock, then table clock you can put on the table, then digital clock. It is also very famous nowadays. Okay, now see the simple pendulum. This is a diagram of simple pendulum. Now I have to reduce it. Okay, now see, this is a reduced form. This is a simple pendulum. heavenly bodies in the space shows the periodic motion. Periodic motion is a motion in which the body repeats the motion at a fixed interval of time or the equal intervals of time. Some other object also show periodic motion, such as swinging body and the string of the sitar. And the principle of the periodic motion is used in making the clocks and watches. This in this picture you can see simple pendulum, and this pendulum was first made by, or the experiments were performed uh, by using this simple pendulum by Galileo Galilei. He was a famous astronomer, Galileo Galilei. He used first time simple pendulum for his experiment and suggested that it can be used to measure the time. He suggested that it consists of a the swinging metallic bob. This is called bob. This is a metallic structure ball. Further studies helped develop the time measuring device called the pendulum clock. It consists of a small metallic bob. You can see here also. This is a small metallic bob tied to the string and suspended from the fixed point. This bob is made to swing to and fro. To and fro motion takes place in this. And it is observed that the bob completes one to and fro motion called oscillation in exactly same time period. Then, in other words, we can say it repeats the oscillation in equal interval of time. Now, see again simple pendulum. Now see the position of the pendulum. This is what you have to do for making the simple pendulum. You have to take a thread, and in one end of the thread you will hang a metallic bob, and you have to tie this thread. You have to suspend this, है ना, किसी एक जगह से आपको इसको tie कर देना so that it can easily swing. And now this pendulum is ready. And when you will displace as here, और यहाँ से आप इसे छोड़ते हो, then it do not stay in the middle position, goes another side, then again it repeats this motion. This motion is called periodic motion. This position of the bob is called extreme position. This is the middle position. Yeah, we can say starting original position, and this is called the extreme position, right? We can find out the time period of this pendulum also. How we will find out? For this we will perform one activity. It is given as activity 13.2. What we have to do now, see, you have to take the simple pendulum. Let the bob of the pendulum come to the rest at its mean position. This is the mean position, and I told you this is the medium or mean position. Mark the mean position of the bob on the floor below it or on the wall behind it. To measure the time period of the pendulum, we need the stopwatch. We require one stopwatch. However, if the stopwatch is not available, the table clock or the wrist clock also can be used. To set the pendulum in the motion, gently hold the bob and move it slightly from one side. You have to take the bob here, and from this position you will release it. Then this will not stay in the main position, it will go another side, then again it will come back. You have to, this is a one oscillation, or you can say you have to actually, you now see this table. According to this table you have to calculate the time taken for the 20 oscillations, and where you will count one oscillation when this will come again. It's this extreme position, this will be 1, then again this will be 2, right? Then you will count. When you release this bob from this position, then अपनी stopwatch आपको start कर देनी है. Then you will count. Stopwatch आपकी start हो गई है, वो count कर रही है. Then you will count 1, then again 2, 3, 4. Like this you have to calculate up to the 20. Then when the 20, this bob will come here, then stop the stopwatch, right? Now read the time period. जितना भी 20 oscillation में time लगा, you have to read that. Now according to this table, what you have to do now, see time taken. Suppose time taken for the 20 oscillations is 42 seconds. Suppose 42 seconds time taken to complete 20 oscillations. Then you have to time period means to calculate the time of one oscillation. Then you have to calculate the time of one oscillation, है ना? So time taken to complete one oscillation, it will be 42 upon 20. It means it will be 41. 21. It will be 21 seconds, right? So one oscillation will take how much time? 2.1 second. This is called time period. It means the time taken to complete one oscillation is called time period of the pendulum, right? Okay. Uh, Normally when we make the simple pendulum, then the length of the pendulum is taken as 1 meter, right? This length we will take as 1 meter or 100 centimeter in case of simple pendulum, right? Then like this we will find out the time period of the pendulum. Now suppose we are calculating it for 25 oscillations, ठीक है? Suppose 25 से oscillation complete करने में it takes 45 seconds, right? So what is the time period? Now again it's very simple. 25 oscillation it completes into the 25 second. Then one oscillation it will complete into the 25 upon 45 upon 25. Then you will divide it and the answer you will get the answer, right? Okay. Then next then I think it's very simple. Then you can do at your home also. You can take, if you don't have the metallic bob, then you can take any of the heavy material. आप क्या लेना चाहोगे? You can take a nail or something should be heavy and थोड़ा सा heavy हो. Then try at your home something which you can find. You can take the nail also, है ना? So try to make your own pendulum and try to find out its time period. Now next is units of time and speed. So I told you the SI unit or the basic unit is second. It's this, and the symbol of the second is always as small s. Larger units are minute, then hour, hour के बाद day, it may be the है ना quarter and month etc. Okay, now what would be the basic unit of the speed? Then obviously speed we will use the smallest unit, then it will be the meter per second, right? And if you are measuring the greater unit, इससे बड़ी वाली unit अगर आप लेते हैं, then it may be the meter per minute, it may be the kilometer per hour, right? These like these we can use according to our convenience. If we are taking it, if the time is too much, then we can take an hour. Okay, for example we write 50 kilometer and not 50 kms, or 8 centimeter at and not, yeah, you have to see that if you want to write 50 kilometer, you know, 50 kilometer, then in short you will write as 50 km only. You no need to put the s, आप आगे नहीं लगाओगे, किलोमीटर्स नहीं लिखोगे, you will write only 50 km. And same 8 centimeter, है ना, not cms, you have to write केवल क्या लिखना है, केवल cm. Okay, Buzo is wondering how many seconds there are in a day and how many hours in a year. Can you help him? Yeah, obviously you can calculate it very easily. Now see, how many seconds are there in a day? Okay, in a day how many hours are there? 24 hours. You can convert it into the minutes. 1 minute have 60 seconds, then 24 minutes have 24 into 60. Okay, now this unit is comes into the minute. Now 1 minute have 60 seconds, so obviously 24 into 6 minutes have 24 into 6 into 60, then you can find out the, you can calculate and find it out, right? Okay, and it will be approximately 86400 seconds, right? Then you can calculate it. Okay, now next, how many hours in a year, how many hours in a year? Then it's also very simple. Then 1 year have how many days? 365 days. Okay, one day have how many hour? 24 hour. 1 hour have how many minutes? 60 minutes. And 1 minute have how many seconds? 60 second. है ना? Then you can multiply these all and you can calculate it, right? Okay, now see, there is an interesting story about the discovery that the time period of a given pendulum is constant. Yes, time period of a pendulum is always constant. Getting time period of the pendulum is always constant. Okay, do one thing. We will continue this topic in the next session. Today you have to do one practical, है ना? You will find out this one. You make your own pendulum. The length may be 100 मीटर, अगर छोटी 100 सेंटीमीटर. इफ अगर आपने छोटा लेंथ लिया है देन इट्स ओके, बट आपका पेंडुलम हमेशा एक ही होगा, है ना? आपने जो लेंथ सेट करी है वही लेंथ आप रखे रहना. एंड एवरी टाइम आप क्या करोगे, उसकी टाइम पीरियड कैलकुलेट करोगे, है ना? कभी आप 20 मिनट्स का काउंट कर लीजिए, 20 सेकेंड्स 20 ऑसिलेशन काउंट कर लीजिए, कभी आप 30 ऑसिलेशंस काउंट कर लीजिए. एवरी टाइम यू हैव टू फाइंड आउट द टाइम पीरियड, है ना? यू विल फाइंड आउट टाइम पीरियड. और हाँ, एक और चीज़, व्हेन यू आर रिलीजिंग इट फ्रॉम हेयर, है ना, सम टाइम आप यहाँ से रिलीज करोगे, हो सकता है किसी टाइम आप ये पीछे चला जाए, यहाँ से रिलीज करोगे, बट एवरी टाइम द टाइम पीरियड विल कम अप्रॉक्सीमेटली सेम, right? Do this experiment, then we will continue it later. Okay, bye, have a nice day.